What's up, fight fans? Welcome to Triple THS, powered by Kountermove Fantasy MMA at Kountermove.com. I'm the virtual boy of mixed martial arts, Tommy Toehold. Today, UFC 174 Kountermove Picks. Let's do this shit! Fight fans, UFC 174 is coming up Saturday, and it's gonna be the fucking shit. Look at all these motherfuckers. Everybody has this weird red tint around them like they just went KO Ken. Rory McDonald's going full serial killer stare down. Bagotinov looks like he saw some really interesting stuff off to his left. This card is gonna be fucking awesome. Lots of fun fights. My point is, you're gonna fucking watch it no matter what. So why not make the fights even better by watching them and playing in a fantasy MMA tournament at Kountermove.com? Tommy, I don't know how to play Kountermove. What's fantasy MMA? I don't have the internet. We have a lot of work to do. But let's start with UFC 174, and I'll walk you through the process. First thing you're going to want to do is find yourself an internet browsing device and head to Kountermove.com. Right below professional smoking hot distance running super person Natasha Wicks, you're going to see a bunch of different games. The one I'm jumping in today is going to be Crooklyn's Big Money Tourney. 25 bucks gets you in. Top prize takes home $3 fucking grand. God damn, that's a lot of scratch. My game's $10. There's a tournament for everybody. Just find the one you like. They all play the same. Once you choose your game, it's time to pick your team. Here's how it works. You pick 5 fighters. Your fighters score points based on performance. If you've got the most points at the end of the night, you're the winner. You got 25,000 fake dollars to draft your team, and straight winning isn't what we're looking for here. This isn't Las Vegas. This is fantasy MMA, which means performance is what matters. And we're looking for stoppages and fast. The best teams win their fights early. Now, I've done a few of these videos, and you guys always say, Tommy, you're only telling us your picks. I want to know about all the fights so I can choose on my own and not be a stupid fuck like you who never wins. Fine. Let's go through every matchup, and we'll start at the bottom. First up, we've got Rory Mack and Tyron Woodley. Rory is worth 1,000 more than Woodley is, and in this matchup, he's the favorite to win, but in terms of Kountermove play, I'm not sure Rory's worth 5,300. Both fighters have 7 first-round stops apiece, and both finish around 70% of their fights. Woodley's just as likely to get the stop as Rory is here. My cartoon ass is avoiding this fight, but if I had to spend money on it, I'd be going with Tyron Woodley. Next up, the Pitbull is making his return to the UFC to take on Brendan Schaub, and he is cheap as fuck in this tourney. Both fighters have a high finish rate, and the Pitbull was icing motherfuckers back in the day. This one's a tough match to call. Schaub should win, but there are too many question marks. There will probably be a finish in this fight, and that makes Arlovsky a steal of a pick in terms of your budget, but it's too unpredictable to be a good pick in my opinion. Moving up the list, we have 2 bantamweights, the Tiger and the Hulk. Even though they both sound scary as fuck, they don't finish fights much. Easton in particular only has 2 first-round finishes and the lowest stoppage rate on the entire card at 46%. This fight I would avoid altogether as it could end up being a grinder. Moving on, we find a matchup between OSP and Ryan Gemmo. For those of you unfamiliar with Ryan Gemmo before his UFC career, the dude wasn't much for finishing fights. While he does have 9 first-round finishes, most of those came early in his career. He's got a 53% finish rate. He is not someone I would ever pick in a Kountermove tournament, ever. OSP, on the other hand, has 73% finish rate and 10 first-round stops. I think he wins this fight, and he wins it big. I'm going with OSP to stop Gemmo early. Coming up after that fight, we've got Roland Delorme and Noob Saibot, apparently. Not a lot of first-round finishes between these two. Tanaka has a very low finish rate at 55%. From what I see here, this fight might go on a while. I can't really say I would pick either one of these fighters for a Kountermove tournament. Next on the list, we've got Ryan Bader and Rafael Cavalcante. Cavalcante is a cheap fucking pick. They're practically giving him away, despite the fact that he has a 100% finish rate on his wins. That's right, he finishes 100% of the time, and he has 8 first-round finishes in his career. Bader only has 62% finish rate. If you're looking to save up some cash for a more expensive fighter and need a guy who fucks people up, Cavalcante is the dude you're looking for. All right, after that, we've got women's bantamweights. Both ladies worth 4,800. Valerie, however, has a 100% finish rate and 3 stops. Phillips has only 1, and many of her fights go 3 rounds. I'm going with Letourneau. Next up is Taeyong Bang and Cajun Johnson, and despite having an awesome name like Bang, Taeyong doesn't finish fights much, about 50% of the time. Johnson, on the other hand, has 9 first-round stops and finishes about 80% of the time. He's a cheaper pick, but he has great value. I like Johnson in this one. Moving on, we got Daniel Sarafian and Kichi Kunamoto. Sarafian has a 100% finish rate and 5 first-round stops. He's an expensive pick, but for good reason. There's a high likelihood Sarafian will be fucking people up on Saturday. Next up, we have 2 mystery men meeting in the prelims. Fighters coming into the UFC are always a crapshoot in terms of Kountermove picks, but for what it's worth, Jason Sago has finished 100% of his fights and has 4 first-round stops. Shockley finishes 72% and has 8 first-round stops. Somebody is getting knocked the fuck out. If I had to pick, I'd be going with Sago. Finally, we come to the main event, and while the champ is dominant and the division is exciting as fuck, neither of these cats are good Kountermove picks in my opinion. While they both have a few first-round finishes, Mighty Mouse only ends fights 58% of the time, and Bagotinov finishes 69%, but I don't see him finishing Mighty Mouse. Basically, what I'm trying to say is I'm staying the fuck away from this fight. So once you've decided who you want, make your picks. I'm going with Cavalcante, OSP, Johnson, Letourneau, and Serafian. You hit the play button, you invite some friends, review your team, motherfucking boom. That's how you do it, fight fans. It's that fucking easy. It's that fucking fun. You're gonna watch UFC 174 anyway. You might as well get into this because it's gonna make every fight from the prelims to the main event a lot more fun. Invite a friend, kick their ass too. Invite your mom and kick her ass. I'm Tommy Toehold, Kountermove Fantasy MMA at Kountermove.com. I will see you on the leaderboards, and by leaderboards, I mean at the bottom of it, right after the last person, but before the screen becomes the room that you're in.